of faith, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Here's Reverend Bill with your God Call.
I looked and I looked and I looked. I looked everywhere and I couldn't find it. And then finally, in the last place I looked, there it was. Now, I'm not talking about something specific that I've been searching for. That's an experience that we've all had. And the interesting part is that, of course, you find it in the last place you look, because after you find it, you stop looking. But the other thing is, there's an infinite intelligence that knows everything. So instead of starting to look, settle into the awareness of the infinite and allow yourself to find it in the first place you look.
Morning, everybody. Hi.
Morning.
Nice to see you all. I'm Emily, if you don't know me. I'd like to begin with a song by India R.E. This is called I Am Light.
Oh.
I am light, I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I am not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dreams I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. The soul inside is all alive. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am divinity divine. I am the God on the outside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. 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 Thanks.
Thank you, Emily.
That was wonderful. And good morning, New Thought Philadelphia. It is wonderful to see you. Labor Day weekend underway right now on Zoom one more time. So you know the usual routine on Zoom, remain muted except when you're sharing, and certain other times when we like to raise a cacophony, a joyful noise, as it were. So go ahead and unmute your microphone now if you'd like to, and repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I open
I
myself.
open myself to love.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to something brand new.
I
I
open
open
myself
myself
to
myself
brand new.
something brand new.
I know love is right here, right now.
I know
I
that
know
love is
love
right here, right now.
And so it is.
And
So
so
it
it
is.
is.
Amen.
Okay, exercise the mute button one more time, and I will remind you that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you, and welcome home. So we believe pretty simply that there's one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us. And we each use that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. As we like to say around here, your new life begins with a new thought. So if you have extra electronic devices that would just distract you if they made buzzing, beeping, or whirring noises, go ahead and turn them on stun for the next hour. And we will be able to focus within on that divine truth and power and presence that's within. I'm Reverend Bill Marcioni, and music today is by the illustrious Emily Drinker. And the practitioner for our celebration today is Joe Catanzaro, RSCP, who will begin, as we begin everything, with our practical prayer.
Good morning, everyone. Take a breath. We're going to travel that 18-inch distance from our head to our hearts. It's such a long journey. Settle in, knowing that there's only one power and presence. It is the source of all life, all form. It is our source. It creates everything. It is all love, all intelligence. It's the one mind. It's the divine power that allows us to create our own lives because we use that same power as its creations, as it works in us and through us and as us. There's only oneness, there's only connection. And I know that this celebration today is love unfolding. It is good and more good coming into our lives. It is a joyful, powerful expression of that love and of our creativity as part of the one. We combine our love, our lights, our talents, our gifts, our spirits, and create something bigger and better than ourselves. I'm grateful for all of this good that comes into our lives, and then we get to share it with even more people. So for all of this good, I'm grateful. And we don't have to make it happen. We can release these words to the one power and presence that has the know-how that makes it happen. Because it always says yes, like it always has. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Joe. So as we remind ourselves every week, the reason that we do a practical prayer is not to earn points with some external power, but to create a change in the experience that we're having in our lives. So this is a time when we get to report back on how the prayer is working. Anybody have a prayer work story to share? Go ahead and wave your hand or raise the thing. Dina, and then Hannah, and then Annie. Because I know what Dina's is.
Well, a couple of days ago, we decided that we needed to use the doggy CBD oil, which is really expensive, and started looking for it and couldn't find it. Went through every drawer, every place we thought it could possibly be, and nothing. And it's not like it left the house, so we knew it had to be here someplace. And Bill said, I'm going to do a prayer. And so I happened to be folding laundry at the edge of my bed and happened to get a view of the under shelf of my nightstand. And there it was behind my socks. And it was like, dang. Well, A, was really happy that I found it. But the other thing that it kind of brought up for me was sometimes you can think and think and think of you just have to go out of the box. You have to constantly pivot and change direction, and so that you can, see what's there. And that's mine. Yay.
Thank you. Yay. That was a fun one. Hannah, New Orleans.
Yeah, so made it through the hurricane all right. And I know a lot of folks were praying about it. So thank you for that. Cats are fine. House is pretty fine. Still don't have electricity, but there is electric back to my street. They just have to get the electrician to come to my house, which is happening early this week. And which is like way ahead of like right after the storm. They were saying it'd probably be at least 3 weeks for people. And my landlord right now is putting me up in an apartment that he happened to have that had electricity back, which has been awesome to be able to sleep and not be sticky. Still a lot of damage at the hospital, but staff are starting to trickle back in. It's starting to get a little bit more back to normal of therapy schedule, and just the management has been treating staff really well and trying to take care of everybody, and just how, everybody in the area in general really is coming together to take care of each other. And then
you got to tell the story about the tree.
Oh, yeah, then the huge tree fell from 2 doors down from me and like took out our power lines, but did not hit anything else. No people, no houses. I was showing them on meditation call, one of the showing them the tree and everything. And then my other one was just kind of on top of everything. I had spent 3 hours with a patient the other morning, is kind of doing various things for her and emotional support and this and that. And then right after that, learned that she tested positive for COVID. So, which we were really hoping for not an outbreak at the hospital in light of everything else. So I was kind of freaking out about it that day. And then got myself together some, but have been praying about it. And they had never, in all the time that we've in and out had people with COVID at the hospital, they've never offered us tests. And the next day they came in with tests, and I got to take one and I was negative, and 6 other coworkers took them and were also negative who had been working with her. So I'm going to go back to working with her because we can't transfer her anywhere else right now, and she really needs therapy, but going to keep praying for health for all of us. So anyway, that was a lot of things, but
there's a bunch going on in New Orleans.
Exactly.
In your life. Thank you, Hannah. Annie.
Good morning, everybody. So I have to be vague, so I apologize. I'm not good at that. But I was praying for this very specific thing that had to do with abundance in my life. And I would say that there are times where you're praying for something for me, and it's definitely stretching my belief system. And I was just kept like kind of like rapid, whatever they're called, rapid affirmations, like just kept saying, this is ours, this is good. This, like, anytime I had a doubt, I just turned back to everything that we needed would be provided. And we got an email the other day that, like, to the penny, what we needed was there. And I can believe it. But like when Joe was saying, like, you don't have to know the how. Like, I don't have to know the how. I just have to set an intention and know that there's something good that I want in my life, and it's provided. So while I feel like it was like almost miraculous, there is no big or small in the universe like that. So
Beautiful
thanks,
story.
everybody.
Yeah, we've been talking about that one for a little while. Quick story for me. Did you want to share something, Sandy, or are you just waving hi? Okay. We've been having challenges with the accounting and bookkeeping at New Thought Philly, and the bookkeeping manager at the accounting company that we've been dealing with. Last year, we tried to say, can you guys review the books? And they just completely dropped the ball. So I looked back around one more time and said, to the top guy, can you please have somebody just take a look at our books and make sure we're heading in the right direction? Get a 2-word response from Ed. He says, yes, will do. I think it was just will do. Then get an email from somebody who says, hey, I'm Bill Adams. I don't know if you remember me. I'm the new bookkeeping manager here. I took Beyond Limits with you, a couple of their classes in 2014. So that was a good sign, coming back inside the family there. And nice to be able to reconnect with him and have something in common additionally. Oh, and in the intervening years since 2014, he'd run away to Florida, Fort Lauderdale, where we lived for 10 years, and then escaped back. So kind of closing the loop there. I'm gonna let Sandy do the announcements now. And and these announcements are really, really important. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up. It starts on Tuesday with just one of the most fun-packed spiritual hours that you could ever have. Does it sound like I'm enthusiastic? I'll let Sandy talk about it.
Okay, this delightful information can be found on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in our weekly e-newsletter. Please sign up on the website so we can keep in touch. Activate your prayer practice at the Practical Prayer for Real Results workshop this Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's 1 hour on Zoom with live music by Amy Steinberg. And anybody who has been in the presence of Amy Steinberg knows that she is a hoot. She's energetic, she's fun, she's funny. She's just a great person to be with and around. We're getting together for a tie-dye party and cookout in the park. Sarah will guide us in creating a wearable masterpiece, and we'll share a dish together. Saturday, September 11th from 4:30 to 7:30. Please register for free on the website. Alliance with the Infinite is a brand new 8-week class based on The Universe Has Your Back by Gabriel Bernstein. It explores how to deepen your connection with the power within you. On Mondays from 7:30 to 9:30, beginning September 27th. It's open to everybody and the tuition is $160. And I can put in a little plug here too, because that is right after the Power of 8, which is from 7 to 7:30 on Mondays. So everybody's welcome to come to Power of 8 and then go right to the class. Our friend, Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer, who's the Anton president, and Anton is the, what is it, Bill?
It's the Affiliated New Thought Network. It's one of our international alliances network.
Right.
Like-minded centers and people.
Will lead a heart and mind opening workshop on forgiveness as a process, not an event. He'll address topics like, do we forgive prematurely? Do we forgive so we don't have to feel what we feel? or use spiritual bypass and toxic positivity to escape uncomfortable feelings. It's on Zoom on Monday, September 13th from 7:30 to 9:30, and the fee's $20. Twice a day, we have a community check-in and meditation on Zoom. They're inspiring and fun and are less than 15 minutes, and everyone is welcome. Reverend Bill's Practical Prayer podcast has a new episode every Wednesday. Please subscribe on Apple, Google, Spotify, or Stitcher, or get the details on the website. And we'd love to have you follow New Thought Philly on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and join the Philly Spiritual Adventurers group on meetup.com. New Thought Philly is collaborating with other religious science communities in presenting a program called Healing the Divide, which is small group facilitated discussions on race and the racial divide in our country. If you're interested in facilitating or participating in these group discussions, you can contact me. My information's in the chat. The facilitator training is October 8th and 9th, and the 10-week discussion groups begin in January. We'll use the book Mindful of Race to support our discussions. The Power of 8 Intention Circle meets Mondays at 7 p.m. You can contact me for information. The Women's Circle meets Thursday, September 23rd at 7 p.m. And you can contact Sandy, me, or Joe for information. And the Conscious Creativity Core meets on Tuesday, September 21st. And you can contact Chris for information. Chris, if you'll put your contact info in the chat. Thank you to the production team and presenters who make our Zoom celebration work. There's a short technical rehearsal before the celebration on Sunday. To join the team, contact Carla Ann, who has her contact information in the chat. Next week will be virtual again, and Reverend Bill talks creativity and how everyone, not just painters, writers, and creative professionals, is creative, channeling the power that creates everything into our activities. Live original music by Deb Chamberlain. Reverend Bill and the practitioners are available by appointment for professional prayer. After the celebration, Joe will be available for a quick miracle in a minute prayer at no charge, and we'll leave the Zoom meeting open for people to talk among ourselves after the service.
Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, and when we're together, we have a gift and a special blessing for our second-time visitors. For our first-time visitors, we have a blessing and a welcome packet. So if you are not already signed up for the e-newsletter, go to the website and do that. We email usually once a week. Sometimes there's a second email, but we don't spam you. And basically, the newsletter has all the info that you need with quick reminders about that stuff. If you are here for the first time, or you're feeling like you're refreshed and new, then I invite you to accept this blessing, as the rest of us are going to rub our hands together and generate some warmth. Remind you, send that love out, send that warmth out. Reminding you that you are the bright light of God's love. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your love with us today, and welcome home. In lieu of hugging, the times being what they are, just put your screen on gallery view, and as Emily sings the next song, go ahead and make eye contact with the folks who are in the celebration with you.
Yes. When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, something without warning, love, always heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Oh, just one look at you, and you know it's gonna be A lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. A lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you and the world's alright with me. Do, 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 do. Oh, just one look at you and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. A lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, something without warning, love, always heavy on my mind. Then I look at you and the world's alright with me. Oh, just one look at you and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. A lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. A lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. A lovely day. A lovely day. Thank you. Lovely day.
Thank you. Lovely day, Emily Drinker. That was lovely. Chris is going to lead us in the flames of faith.
We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people of all faiths come from one power, love, intelligence, which we call Spirit of God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine, feminine, and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Plenty of places benefiting from that healing energy now. Blessed be. The reading today, I'll let Kathy introduce it.
The reading today is from A Deep Breath of Life by Alan Cohen. And the title is Choice Words. And it opens with a quote. "Only in the sacredness of inward silence does the soul truly meet the secret hiding God." Frederick William Robertson. A friend of mine conducts retreats in Assisi, Italy, the birthplace and home of St. Francis. Much of the retreat time is spent in silent meditation. The program has a rule: do not speak unless what you have to say is more powerful than the silence. The Quakers understood this principle and incorporated it into their prayer services. The Quakers sit silently and no one speaks unless he or she is moved by spirit to do so. One must not speak until he or she is literally exploding or quaking. That is the sign that God, and not the ego, is moving through the person. In my seminars, I've noticed a wide range of energies that issue forth when various people speak. When someone speaks from her heart, she may say but a few words and the entire room is riveted. That is how compelling sincere expression can be. Others may go on for a long time and say nothing, and the room goes dead, for the speaker is proceeding from their head or ego. Try practicing periods of silence. Take a morning or a day regularly. Chamber of prayers will be chosen, powerful and healing. Make every word you speak count, and you will co-create with God. Lord, make my words an instrument of your peace. And then there's an affirmation here. I use the power of the word to create good, success, and healing.
Thank you, Kathy. And the technology giving us a perfect example of the importance of words.
All right. This is a song that's a little out of character for me. It's a song by Tim McGraw. I don't really know any Tim McGraw songs, but I learned this one. It's called Humble and Kind. There's a light that glows by the front door. Don't forget the keys under the mat. When childhood stars shine, always stay humble and kind. Go to church 'cause your mama says to. Visit grandpa every chance that you can. It won't be wasted time. Always stay humble and kind. And hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb. Always stay humble and kind. When the dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip, and here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Know the difference between being with someone and being with someone you love. I love you ain't no pickup line, so always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb. but always stay humble and kind. When those dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. Don't take for granted the love this life gives you. When you get where you're going, don't forget to turn back around. Help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat and don't lie. Know you got mountains to climb. Always stay humble and kind. Thanks.
Thank you, Emily. I have to remember to hit my start button on the recorder for the other video. So we're going to talk about little words that have a big impact today. The title of the talk is "And." When we think of the power of the word, in the beginning was the word, and the word was God, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We think about big, impactful, impressive, large words, earthquake or volcano or hurricane or supernova, those big, huge, creative, transformational events. I don't think of little words like "and." But the little words turn out to have a lot of importance based on the ways that we use them. Scripture says, "Seek first the kingdom of God, and all this will be added unto you." And that's where Jesus was talking about. You can have all of this stuff, and instead of trying to get the stuff, what you want to do is turn your attention to spirit. And the part about it being added to you is the "and." When something is added, you have what you had, and you have something else, and that's how growth and evolution and unfoldment is happening. There are other words that we use like "but" or "not" that tend to be diminishing words and disconnecting. And we'll talk a little bit more about those. In improv theater, the phrase is "yes and." So what happens is, as there's a sketch going on, if there are 2 or 3 improv actors who are working with each other, they never say no. They say yes and as they're pushing the story forward, they're agreeing with what's already happened and allowing something to be added to it. They want to add to the story, and sometimes it's a wild left turn, as they say something completely unexpected, or introduce a brand new character, or take the routine in a completely different direction. But the energy is always yes, and let that change and transform and unfold. And if anybody's ever done improv, you know that's the number one trick in improv, because as soon as you say, well, no, then everything comes to a stop, and then you have to get it going again. And the same thing is happening in our lives. If we keep on stopping, then we have to get our momentum started again. And if what we're looking to do is redirect, have a different course, even if we're going to be turning back around and going the way that we've come, yes, I'm making good progress and it's in the wrong direction, and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to make good progress going in the opposite direction. And that's guidance. And sometimes it's not a 180-degree turn. Sometimes it's a little fine-tuning, adjusting back and forth as we are adjusting our course and letting the experience that we've had guide us into the next experience that we're desiring to have. And it becomes an "and." You can always look over your shoulder and see that tortuous path that you've been on. Those are the footsteps of God that have led you to this perfect moment right now, where you are at choice of how you're going to step into the next moment. And that's another "and." This is what I've been doing, and what am I guided to do next? What is the next step that I'm being guided to? The word if seems simple, seems pretty straightforward. That implies doubt. If we have an if in our lives, then we're not sure. Maybe we think that something can happen, but we've got a dependency there. That can happen if something else happens. There are so many times when I've been doing prayer work with somebody, and the request is that they get a different job. And they don't really want a different job. What they really want is a better experience at work. So it's possible that the job that they have or the workplace that they're in can change, and it becomes the job that they really want. When there is the assumption that we need to go work for a different company, for a different employer, doing a different task in order to get whatever it is that we're looking for, whether it's more income, more flexibility in our schedule, more satisfaction in the work we're doing, a simpler commute, whatever it happens to be. When we decide that those are the things, that's something that needs to happen in order for us to get the things that we're actually wanting, we're putting an if. We're putting some doubt in there. We're putting an obstruction in the way of the good that we're looking for. Because if the experience that I want to be having is fulfilling work with colleagues who I love working with, and engaging activities and making plenty of money, I can let that flow into my life in whatever way it's going to happen. I don't need to have an if. I don't need to know how. God knows how this works. And all of this will be added unto you. So just as you're phrasing your intentions, as you're having conversations, listen to the little words. Listen to the little words that you're using and find out, is what I'm saying really what I'm meaning? Because if you say what you mean and you mean what you say, you take a lot of the, let's say, excitement, or definitely the mystery out of what's unfolding in your life. Another one of those little words is when, or until. This will happen when that happens. I will do this when that. And great story about John Lennon. When he was a little kid, he was in elementary school, where they call elementary school over there, at grade school. And the teacher said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And young John Lennon said, "I want to be happy." And she said, "I don't think you understand the question." And he said, "I don't think you understand life." Because if we think that we want to grow up and have a life that matches these particular specifications, to have a house in this area, to live in this city, to make this much money, to have this kind of a job, to that kind of a relationship, and when I have all of these things, I will be happy. We put a big when, or perhaps a big if, in the way of our good. If when I have all of those things, I'm feeling content and happy and joyous in my life, then let me cut to the chase. I want to be happy. I want to be joyous. I want to be free. I want to be prosperous. I want to be healthy. I want to be a beneficial presence, a bright light, helping other people. And then the things that happen don't matter nearly as much. Now, they'll still be wonderful by the time they show up. We'll be surrounded with all of this good that's in our lives, and that's wonderful. We just don't need to decide how it's going to come together ahead of time. When this happens, if that happens, when the other thing, and then at some point I will be ready for the good to be unfolding in my life. We don't need to wait. And we don't need to set up the dependencies. That's putting roadblocks in our own way, which we are completely free to do. We're completely free to put roadblocks in our way, and to determine that we need to zigzag back and forth a dozen times before we get to the destination that we want to get to. And sometimes the zigging and zagging back and forth is very important. A metaphor that came up in a conversation this week is, if you want to go from the top to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, you don't go straight. You're going to want to do some zigging and zagging on the way down to the bottom, because it's a really long straight drop down there. So the zigging and zagging, as you're making your way through the traverses, is a good thing. Be aware that that's what you want to do. You don't just want to get to the bottom of the canyon. You want to actually get to the bottom of the canyon in a healthy and intact and comfortable manner. And so let that unfold the way that the way that it's going to unfold, in a way that brings that sense of harmony and comfort into your life. My favorite one to watch out for, my favorite little tiny word, is but. Watch when somebody uses the word but. What happens is but always comes in the middle of a sentence. This all happened, but that. Or this is true, but this. And the word but means everything that I just said is going to get discounted and thrown away. I either didn't mean it or it wasn't true. Yada, 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 yada. But all that's garbage. It's now completely disposed of. And now I'm going to tell you what I really wanted to say. So watch as you are using the word. And we tend to get involved, or when your friends or associates or the people you don't like, you see on television perhaps, use the word but. It's a wonderful little tiny device, and we're so used to it that we don't even notice that we're using it for huge negation. We're going to undo everything that was just said with a little tiny word but, and then say something completely different. And it's come into fashion that what comes after the word but doesn't have to have anything to do with what came before it, or in fact, the topic. This has been usually historically it's been the field of politicians, to not answer the question that was asked, but to answer the question that they have an answer for. And it's become an art form. And it's getting more and more pervasive. And keep an eye out for it. Not that you need to stop. Not that the people who are around you need to stop, but to be aware of when that's going on. What do those little words mean? There's another one, through. And what we're doing, the same thing. There's the ifs and the whens and the throughs. And that's showing our fascination with being in control. When I know that when I want something to happen, and it's going to happen through this means or through that unfolding or through these steps, I'm once again prescribing how it's going to happen. And in fact, I might be really good at understanding how the pieces fit together and know that this is going to go through that, that's going to go through the other, and that's how the pieces are going to fit together, and it will work. And that's my ego letting it work. And it doesn't necessarily have to go through all the throughs that I was thinking of, because there's a bigger mind than mine. I'm using it, but I'm only using part of it. And it's like this story that Dina told him, it was in the God Call. It's like when we let go of our ego attachment to the thinking that we have thought through and stepped through everything that could be stepped through, and let the infinite guide us or inform us, huge things are possible. So take a cue from the Quakers, whether it's the little words or the big words. Stop. What happens if I don't say anything now? What happens if I don't express my opinion? What happens if I wait until it is absolutely crucial that I speak? One of my teachers a long time back told me that when somebody asks a question, if you answer it immediately, that's great, but you don't have to answer it immediately. And the teacher pointed out that if you pause and you think for a moment, instead of people thinking that you're dim-witted or slow, they'll think that you're wise. So even if you think you know what the answer is, pause for a moment. Consider, is this really the answer? Or was this the answer that I thought was the right thing to say next? Is that what my ego says? Is it possible there's a better response here? And let that be the and. Let that newness, that freshness, that insight, that inspiration be added unto you. So that the words that you're sharing are the gift that they are. You are a treasure. You are wonderful. You are a blessing. It's Labor Day weekend. I trust that you are all in labor, birthing something new in your life. Tomorrow, which is Labor Day, is also Rosh Hashanah, so Happy New Year. And use those little words. Plant something wonderful, invite something new into your life, and let it be as good as you can possibly believe Ready for this? And even better. So it is.
Thank you. Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds, try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears, go ahead, release your fears, stand up and be counted, don't be ashamed to cry. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know is love will save the day. Herald what your mother said, read the books your father read, try and solve the puzzle in your own sweet time. Some may have more cash than you, others take a different view. My, oh my, hey, hey, hey. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know is love will save the day. Time asks no questions, it goes on without you, leaving you behind if you can't stand the pace. The world keeps on spinning, can't stop it if you try to. The best part is danger staring you in the face. Oh, listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds, try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears, go ahead, release your fears. My, oh my, hey, hey, hey. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know is love will save the day. Got to be bad, got to be bold, got to be wise, do what others say. Got to be hard, but not too hard. All I know is love will save the day. Oh, love will save the day. Yeah, yeah. All I know is love will save the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. And thank you, Reverend Dr. Bill. All right. We'll take what we've gotten so far from today's celebration and go into a little bit of a meditation. And what came to me was from the talk is, what do you want to add to the story? Or what do you want to release? What do you want to end? What do you want to get out of your story to make room for something new? So let's get comfortable in our chairs. You can sit up straight, put your feet flat on the floor. Just get into a position of comfort. Feel yourself connected to the earth. And reaching up through your head and your shoulders towards the sky. We'll start by taking some slow, deep breaths. Breathe in, hold it at the top. and release. So, breathe in. Hold it. And release. Feel that relaxation through your shoulders and your neck. One more deep breath in. Hold it. And release. And one last breath in. Hold it. And release. And as you just focus on your breath, think about maybe as you exhale, what do you want to release? What are you letting go of? What are you making room for? And then on the inhale, what do you want to add? What's the yes and what's the well no? You have to make room for the new. Or maybe you're pretty clear on one or the other, and you just have to concentrate on maybe what you're adding. Well and, or yes and, well no. As you breathe in and out, and we go into the silence. Let that guide you. Well and, yes and, sorry. Well no. Yes and, well no. Just breathe on that.
That pattern of yes and, well no, repeats itself in so many areas of our life. In our breathing, we take a breath in. Is this everything that I need for this moment? Yes and. Then a moment later, we can ask ourselves that same question. At some point, it's, well, no, it's time for another breath. And we take that breath out, and it makes way for the next yes and. In breathing, it's called the exhale. In our emotional and spiritual life, it's called forgiveness. Is this serving me? Well, no. And by surrendering or forgiving or releasing or exhaling, we make room for something new. And that infinite creative power, the one that creates everything, the one that has created everything since the very beginning of time, has created each of us. That same creative power that flows through us and to us and as us. There's only one power. And we're part of it and we're using it. And we're able to activate that creative power in new and wonderful ways. So whatever our inspiration has been, the yes and that we're inviting, once we've made way for that newness, whatever area of our life it's showing up in, it could be our health and vitality and our wellness, our peace of mind, our prosperity, our creative work that we do, our relationships, our connections with ourselves, with our loved ones, with our family, with our colleagues, with our neighbors, or the depth of our spiritual practice. Whatever area of our life is calling for something new and wonderful, that infinite creative power is flowing to and through and as us, bringing that good into our experience. And we don't need to know how. And we don't need to wait for this and this and this or that. As we open ourselves to that goodness flows in. That goodness is at hand. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the wonderful way that this is showing up in each of our lives, individually and collectively. This creative process is underway. This love is unfolding. This goodness is at hand. And so with gratitude for all of this good, I speak this word of intention and I release it into that same creative law that has created everything and allow it to create this next new experience. I let it be. And so it is. Amen. Another deep, full breath in. And let it go. Bring your attention back to your body. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes, shrug your shoulders. Bring your attention back into the Zoom as Emily does another song for us.
How do you break through when the words don't reach your lips? In a lump inside your throat, or in a pile of could-have-beens? All the small talk and the catch-up and the empty promises. How do you dive deeper in a shallow riverbed when the current pulls you further from what you should have said? Getting by on the kindness of strangers. Getting by on the kindness of strangers. When you're trying to be tender, but the words just come off cold. When your sweetness surrenders to the cruelness of this world. All the small stuff and the bad luck, when it all becomes too much. How do you find solace in a place so quick to judge? Do you try and play it cool, or play the part you think they want? Getting by on the kindness of strangers. Getting by on the kindness of strangers. People come and people go, and some will make their mark. Like an iron to the bull, a symbol in your heart. And the ones that stick around are the hardest ones to find. And if you can't find the closeness, need the kindness to survive. Getting by on the kindness of strangers. Getting by on the kindness of strangers. Getting by. Get by on the kindness of strangers. Get by on the kindness of strangers. Getting by, getting by. There's like a whole choir, gospel choir at the end of that song. You have to listen to the real thing to get the full effect. But it's called Kindness of Strangers by Courtney Marie Andrews. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. So here we are, planting seeds and anticipating something. So if anybody has anything that's come up for you that you'd like to give voice to now, this is a brave space where you can share what's come up from the meditation or from the prayer, or from the talk, from the singing or whatever. Just go ahead and raise your hand, unmute. And
Well, I'll share.
go ahead, Sandy.
What I'm left with, among other things, is the yes and. So I did take an improv class, and I just remember how much fun that was to accept whatever was offered to me and then to kind of turn it into whatever was next. And I know for me that I'm very self-protective, and so I often have a no. So thank you so much for reminding me about the fun and ease and joy of yes and.
Beautiful, Sandy. Thank you. Anybody else? Yeah, I never did improv theater, but when I was on the radio, it was an ensemble morning show, and it was basically 4 hours of improv 5 days a week. And we never knew where any of it was going to go. When it worked, it was the most exhilarating thing in the world. And when it didn't work, it was awful. It was 3 huge egos in a room with not enough air conditioning, being cranky. Oh. Is that Jane's hand up? Okay. Here was Jack. So it's going to be Sandy one more time.
Oops, I forgot that part.
It'll be Sandy coming up in just a second.
Just give me 1 second.
I will remind you guys again, register for the practical prayer thing on Tuesday with Amy Steinberg. It is going to be an absolute blast, and it's an hour.
New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We have a basket in the room and a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card or PayPal.
So you can swing by Sandy's house because she's got to donate a basket.
You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. We're grateful for every way you share. The offering affirmation is on the screen, and we'll say it together. I live in an abundant universe. I am one with the infinite source of good. I am the center of conscious prosperity.
I enjoy
the richness of life. I bless my gift. I share my
share my
gift
gift
of
gratitude and
gratitude and
joy.
joy.
Know that as
That
I
as I
give,
give,
I do
I
receive.
I do receive.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is. Emily, one more.
One more. All right, let's go out with a bang with a song called "The Word" by the Beatles. This requires harmonies, and if you know them, feel free to do it, muted or unmuted, because it's a little weird singing it without all the different parts. But this is "The Word." Say the word and you'll be free. Say the word and be like me. Say the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine, sunshine. It's the word love. In the beginning I misunderstood, but now I got it. The word is good. Spread the word and you'll be free. Spread the word and be like me. Spread the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine, sunshine. It's the word love. Everywhere I go, I hear it said, in the good and the bad books that I have read. Say the word and you'll be free. Say the word and be like me. Say the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine, sunshine. It's the word love. Now that I know what I feel must be right, I'm here to show everybody the light. Give the word a chance to say that the word is just the way. It's the word I'm thinking of, and the only word is love. It's so fine, sunshine. It's the word love. Say the word love. Say the word love. Say the word love. Say the word love. The word. Thank you all so much. Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you, Emily. The word is. Thank you all so much. And thank you for your donations and for the way that you support New Thought Philadelphia. Truly, truly heartwarming. So we're going to go out with a cacophony, the way we love to do. So go ahead and unmute your microphone so you can repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
And I am light.
I am
Light.
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 And I share my love.
And I
And I share
Share
my
my love.
And I shine my light.
And I shine my light.
Light.
And so it is.
And
so
so it is.
So
So
it
it is.
Thank you, Rev.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Rev.
Jesus. Jesus, is that you standing behind you?
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's me standing behind me.